Hello guys, welcome back. This is Build the Delorean, issue 48. Now I did get these about 3 days ago, and I was waiting because one, this looks like a complete headache. I've been trying to think how I can actually film this because it's very fiddly with all the wiring and stuff. We've got lots of wiring to do, so there may be a few cuts in here. And there may be some swearing. No, but on a serious note, I've got issue 48. I've been waiting for, if you've seen one of my last videos, I didn't connect this top part because I was waiting for some new buttons because they weren't soldered straight, so they weren't working. But so that, and I had an issue with this little 88 box here. Now my replacements were sent at the same time as my latest 4 issues. I got them 3 days ago, and to be honest, I've just got bored of waiting. So I've managed to sort that out. I cracked it off, made the holes a little bit bigger, and ticked around with that. Now that fits nicely, and also I've fixed the buttons now. I've just filed the bottom of the decal off, so it doesn't put pressure on the button. Now they all work, so I'm happy to carry on. So yeah, as I say, it might be a long video, but I'll keep it as short as possible. Here it is. Loads of wires to mess around with. So without further ado, let's crack on and see what we can do. Okay, and I forgot to mention earlier, with my last 4 issues, I've got my display base as well, which is fantastic. I mean, it's so big, it's huge, absolutely huge. And as you can see, it's got the logo there. Now the only thing is that you can see that in the light just about, it's marked at the front from the bubble wrap. Now if you're on the Facebook group, you'll probably know about that anyway. So if you've got yours and you're like me, keeping it in the box for safekeeping until a time we need it, just open it and take the bubble wrap off the badge there, because it's already marked here. I've tried everything on it, you know, methylated spirits and all sorts, and it's not coming off. So okay, so here we go. Let the fun begin. So with this, we've got 4 cable ties there. We've got a shorter red cable with 4 frayed ends, a longer red cable the same with 4 frayed ends. We've got these multicoloured cables, 2 of which have been heat wrapped at one end, and they're different lengths. One is longer than the other there. You've got this single 2-wire, single red 2-wide frayed end there. Yellow cable here. We've got a thick black cable, and we've got this array of multicoloured ones here that have all been twisted on one end. And then we've also got 4 FP screws, which we've got in the bag, and a separator. So again, I'll try and keep this as short as possible. So I'm going to just pop these away for the moment on here so I can see what's what. And the first thing we've got to do in this issue is we're going to need this part. One sec. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing this yellow and orange cable that's coming out the top of the 88 miles an hour there. Let's have a little look. Comes down and behind the heat sinks there. You can see that down there, and then it gets wrapped underneath the dashboard, and then back round. Okay, and then underneath there, at the ends. And then what we're going to be doing is keeping that tight. We're going to tuck all the wires down the right hand side nearer the steering wheel. We're going to pull all them through. Time this one a bit more. And then all down there. Okay, then we're going to move that. So then all the wires are trailing down one side, like so. Okay, and then once we've done that, we are then going to sit it onto the floor. Which I'm going to do now. There you go. And then once they're all through there, like so, we're going to turn this upside down. Sorry, it might be difficult for you to see for the moment, but that gets turned upside down. And then we're going to use the FP screws, 4 of them, to secure this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the screws in, and then I'll show you. So there you go. So as you can see, I've put 2 screws in at the bottom there, and then on the back, the 2 on the outer screw holes, not in the deep ones in the middle, the outer ones. Okay. And then there we have the cables coming through. Okay, so now this can go to the side for the moment. Okay, and now we're going to be playing with some wires. Wish me luck, guys, wish me luck. Okay, so we need this separator, and then it says to have the larger tab on the left. Sorry, your right. So for me, that is there. So you can see that side is wider than that side. So this side on your right, and then we're going to start feeding some of these cables through the tiny little holes there. So I'm just going to sort these cables out. And get them in their orders, because I want it to look just right, because there's no point rushing it if it's not going to look right. So you've got the 2 red first, then you need the 2 white. So I'm going to start with the reds. As I say, I may cut this at certain points because otherwise we'll be here forever. So the first thing we're going to do, again, larger tab to your right, we're going to pop the first wire up through the first hole, and I'm going to do the same for the second red wire. Now a lot of people do that, and then eventually what we're going to do is we're going to put this wire back down the other side like so, if mine will go through, which we're going to cause a loop, and then we're going to pull that through so that when we look at it from the top, it's going to look like a junction box. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull all the wires through first, and then I can get it to the point I need to get it at. So it's 2 red first, then we want 2 white cables. So there's 1, and then the second one. Then we want the 2 black cables. And these holes are tiny. Okay, 2 black cables, and then obviously we want the 2 yellow cables next, and then we'll pop them through. So there's yellow, the second yellow, so we want the yellows through, and then last of all we want this brown cable. Like so. And then what we want to do is we want that in the centre of the cable. So I'm going to put all them through. And then it wants that, as I say, about the centre of the cable. So I'm going to pull it a little bit more. I'm going to try about there, and then all we have to do, this is the way I'm doing it, you might want to do it differently, is grab the end of the cable and then loop it back round and out the other side. So first one, loop it round, and then pull it back through. And then the same for all of them. And then, last of all, the brown cable. Lovely. Now when we've done that, the ones we've folded through, we can then bend back. And then position the cables as you want. So I've got some that are a little bit slack than others, so I'm just going to cut away for a minute, straighten these out, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now that was very fiddly, but I was being a bit picky. Now I've now wired that up. Now the only tip I could say is, when you do this, it's saying put this in the center, but if you do that, you'll see in a moment, there's not really much length, so you need to favour a bit more length on, I'll show you on here. Well, so basically what we're going to do is, I'll explain. This junction box is now going to pop on these holes here. I'm not going to push it right in, it clips in, but the best thing to do is, before you clip that in, just check you've got enough wire. So this side will be going up through the middle of the console under there, and this side will go under there and through the hole this side of the dashboard under there. So you want a slightly longer cable this way, because it's got to get round this panel and then tuck down and under there like so. Okay, so I'll just rewind a bit. After feeding the cables through the connector, you twist the other end up, which is what I've done. So both ends are then twisted, not all the way, but then it's your preference. Okay, and then, as I say, this will pop on. Clip on the top like so, and then this side we feed up through that hole and then out the back here, and I'll just retwist them. Okay, and then you'll have the wires coming out through the hole that side, and then we do the same for the other side. That'll come down under the dash, round over the dash, under the dash, and then out this hole on this side. So I'm just going to bend that cable. Again, sorry if you can't see a lot. It's quite difficult to sort of film and do this. Okay, so you want to position the cables down that side, and then these ones, they do sort of mould to a degree. You want to wrap that behind there, onto the dashboard. And then we have something that looks a little bit like that. Okay. The next step, it definitely is trying this. So, you know, it's the most fiddly one yet, I reckon. But we're all in the same boat, so okay. Once we've done that, we want the yellow cable, which is a double yellow cable, and we want the quite thick black cable. Well, they call it a cable, it's actually like a tube. Okay, we're going to put them together. Okay. And we're going to start this side. See that hole under there? We're going to pop those two cables through there. And what I'm actually going to do to make life a little bit easier for me, I'm going to use a little bit of electrical tape. Because you won't see these ends, I'm just going to put a bit of electrical tape around this end to keep the cables together. Again, that's personal preference, but that's what I'm going to do. So just to keep them nice and neat. So then we pop that end through there. And then what we're going to be doing with these cables is running them up over this part of the dash on the corner here. I'm just going to take that down for the minute. Just keep that in place while this sets. So yeah, sorry, up round here behind the binnacle. So I'm just trying to look at the diagram at the same time as yeah, round there, behind the binnacle, behind the heatsink. And I'm just going to use the scissors just to get that cable down. I'll show you in a sec on the camera. Okay, behind there, you can see that, round there, behind the heat sinks, and then back up, behind this side, and then again we're going to go down with these other cables. And then through the back where we had the other ones. Okay, and that is that step done. Yeah, it's looking really good actually. There we go. So that's what we've got so far. Okay, the next step is we want the red cable with the two prongs. The two prongs are going to sit just behind the heatsink here. Now looking at the picture, they've put it sort of about there, and then this red cable is going to pop round again, the same as the others, and underneath. Sorry, my hand is in the way. Yeah, the red cable up and round the back, which isn't quite long enough. And again, sorry guys, if I said this is going to be such a long issue, and obviously everyone's going to have their preference, you know, on cable positions and whatnot, because obviously we all want it to look as nice as possible. So okay, that'll do for now. So yeah, it's very fiddly, but as you can see, you got the two prongy bits there, and it goes round, and then there's not much left of that red, but the red just pops out through there. Okay, the next job we're going to be using a cable tie, and then just about here where the speaker is, just below, we're going to whack this cable tie round all of those cables. And when you're happy with the position, we're going to tighten that up. But I'm not going to do it too tight at the minute. It says to tighten that up all the way. I'm going to, it's gripping, but I want a bit of leeway in case I need to move any of these cables. And then when I'm done, I will tighten it up at the end. Okay, so that's that part done. Next we want 48F, which is one of the red cables with the 4 loose wires, which is the shorter one. So let me show you again. We've got 2 of these red cables, but one is shorter than the other. We want the short cable. Okay, and then what we're going to be doing with this is it's going to be going down this side of the dashboard, the loose cables at the top, and it's going to be going underneath with the rest of the cables. I'm just going to pop that in, stick it out through the centre there, and then run that up. I'm just trying to see how they've done it. Sort of underneath them. So to make this easier, I'm actually going to cut down through there because it will help keep that sort of in as well. And then out through the back like so. Okay, so that's what we've got so far, and then we just have these sitting up there loose. And then the next step, we're going to put another cable tie just here round where all these cables are, and it is just below the compass, so I'm just going to do that now. Which good tips if you bend the ends of the cable tie, you get a bit of a hook, so you can hook it behind those cables. All of them. Again, I'm going to leave it slightly loose in case I need to make any amendments shortly in regards to any of the lengths. So yeah, the cable tie, as I say, is just below the compass, just about there. Okay. So that was step 20. 21, sorry. Okay, so now we want the longer red cable. With the loose ends one side. That's going to be coming up on this side of the dashboard, just there. Okay, and then again, underneath, out the back, and then we're going to go up. Just going to make sure the cable's straight. And then up past the radio. I'm just going to straighten this cable. Come on. And then again, that's going to come out the back on the other side. Okay, leave these here, and then we're going to want step 22 is another cable tie. Again, I'm going to put a kink in it, and then we're going to cable tie all those cables down there. And I'll get you a better view in a sec. I'm just going to cable tie that. Again, as I said to you before, I'm not going to do it too tight in case I need to make adjustments. but then you get, sorry, there you go, a cable tie around all those cables there. And my cable's just popped out from down there, so I'm just going to there we go. Yeah, so right, so a cable tie just in there with these 4 wires coming through. Okay. It's getting there, it's getting there. Okay, and then the next step is we're going to want the multicoloured cable with the 2 different lengths. That is going to go under the driver's side again, through the hole, up, with the black and the yellow cable which we did earlier. And then we're going to be popping another cable tie. I'll just turn this round like so, and then we're going to put the last cable tie we've got I'm just going to kink it behind the black and the yellow cables with them as well. And secure that into place just about where they've got it on the corner of the binnacle there, the cable tie. So about there, and then I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave that loose again for the moment until we know what's going on. I think that's a good idea. Okay. And then that's that part done. So now it gets tricky. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see a lot of me doing this, so I may have to cut and then come back to you. But what we're going to be doing is these red cables that are here, we'll be plugging them into the top of the heatsink here. As you can see, there is 6 holes. So I'm going to break away, put them in, and then come back to you. So let me just show you the mag. The first 2 cables we had will be going into the 2 holes just there. Okay. The next one is going to be going in the last hole, and then 2 on that side, and the longest one over on that side. The 2 from the top of the radio will be going straight in to these 2 here. And then lastly, we're going to be wanting those 4 that we brought round, 3 in that side, and then 1 is going to come round and trail into this one here. So once I've done that, I'll come back to you. Okay, I'm back. I've done that now. I recommend the tweezers that were supplied. It makes it quite easy, and also what I've had to do, personal preference, I've actually put a double glue over the top once done, because I found some of the wires kept popping out. So they do go in, and then I've just topped a bit of glue on there just to keep them all secure. Okay, so that is looking really good. I'm really chuffed for that. So the next thing we're going to be doing is putting these cables here into the back. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. No, there's very tiny holes at the bottom. You might just see them there. There's tiny holes at the bottom, so we're going to be putting these cables in. So the longer cables will obviously go in this side, shorter ones in this side. And that is, sorry, move that out of the way. That is what we're aiming for. So from the far left, we go red, yellow, red, blue, red, yellow, red, blue. So again, I'm going to cut away while I do this, and then I'll come back when I've inserted those. Okay guys, well that is it. I've just put them in, like so. So we've got them there, and I missed one. One just goes on the corner, just in there. And again, I've put a spot of glue on them just to keep them secure. Okay, and then the only other thing I've done as well, I've actually put a spot of glue under these cables here to keep them up round there because they kept falling down. So I've put a bit of glue, except that one hasn't held, so I'm just going to pop another little drizzle. There we go. Just to keep those cables just there like so. So that was it guys for issue 48. Sorry it was a long one, but it was quite intense. A lot of wiring. I'm glad that's out of the way because I was looking forward to it, but I wasn't, if you know what I mean. But mine, I feel, has gone really well, and the cables are sort of gone where I wanted them to go. So that's all good. And I'll see you for issue 49 shortly. Take care for now, and I'll see you soon.